Ola has taught us quite a lot if you've been here. Managing your expectation, emotional intelligence, how to control our emotions. Back in the day, if I'm doing this show, the way I will come for that freeze.
Man of prestige. Ha! Now this guy win. Now you win. Now you win today. Now you win. Now you win. I agree. Man of prestige. Now man you be.
I'm sure some people will be jealous now the way I talk about Ola. But I have learned a lot from him. That's why I keep telling you to follow him. If you don't follow Man of Prestige, now you know.
Yeah, we find her, the beautiful girl we've been missing. We wanna have her kissing. We find her, now we in love. Say Gosso, the remix.
EMB, Tuck Spice, remix.
Now if I had to lose you like a bad phone connection, I'd change my game to get a better reception. Sit back, let's start this interaction. Don't fight the feelings, just a chain reaction. Your heart won't give you the wrong instructions. Like my GPS, yes, I got the right direction. We gotta merge together like a road intersection. Last stop is gonna be my love and affection. I ain't like the mother dudes, they wanna call you shorty, but I'ma call you a beautiful girl. I took your picture home, my mama saw it, she's a very, very beautiful girl. I wanna put you in my video, cause you're so beautiful. You're a beautiful girl. So when you hear us on your radio, turn up your stereo. It's beautiful girl.
Gotta find a shorty. What's worth of a lady? It's nice, but maybe doesn't look like 40. It's taking a little time. I wasn't seeing no signs, any traces of my baby. Who's gonna be my baby? But I thought I'm gonna take my time within it took a long fun eye. I saw a shorty passing by. She's got this very pretty smile. It was right at the bus station. I tried to make a conversation, holding her arms, feeling so charmed. I felt this sensation. It's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. Now I realize I found me a beautiful girl. She's a model, she's so fine. I just wanna take a bite. Beautiful girl, sparkling eyes, a killing eye. I found me a beautiful girl.
My wish came true when I saw you, girl. God must have blessed me with your beauty, girl. Looking so right from your head to your toe. Shaped like a cocoa bottle with a smile of a queen. My queen to be, you my destiny. Got a body of a goddess with your beauty. I'm impressed and I'm never in distress. Come on over and be mine. Been searching for a man and now all the cats keep looking to mine. With a sexy walk and a sexy talk. She must be from the planet called the sexy world. I know I ain't tripping, better yet I'm thinking put a ring on the finger. We look good together. Take your place in my heart. With your beauty I'ma say that I'll never turn away. Who would think I'm in love?
Such the way she smiles at me just really makes me weak. The way she speaks to me just really make me go so weak. Keep staring in her eyebrows. All I kept on saying is wow. Your beauty shines and breeze at night. All I really want in my life. Oh yeah. It's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. Fine brown eyes. I found me a beautiful girl. She's my model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it. Beautiful girl, sparkling eyes, killing thigh. I found me a beautiful girl. Yeah, beautiful girl, what beautiful girl, yeah. Beautiful girl.
Damn. Money. You seen her? Hot Ice. Have you seen her? LP. Have you seen her? I'ma go over to Tux Bites. I know you've probably seen her. He has a lot of beautiful girls with him. Tux, it's DMB, baby. Look.
Beautiful.
I look for a while, but I can't seem to find a beautiful
beautiful girl so I can make her mine. Time after time I've been searching for a while, but every girl I meet never seems worthwhile. What can I do? I pray to God for an answer. I feel pains in my heart like cancer, and when I find her, I'm gonna romance her. Lace up with presents and gifts, call me Santa Claus. I make a heartbeat pause. That's my girl, homeboy, not yours. The girl of my dreams, she's more than I ever thought. Show me ass and culture, I think I'm getting punked. She's what I really want, so I'm a go-getter. Since I'm a go-getter, you know I'm gon' get her. And I will give her the world, anything from my beautiful girl.
Psych. Ooh, it's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. Fine, brown eyes. I found me a beautiful girl. She's my model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it, beautiful girl. Sparkling night, killing time. I found a beautiful girl.
Girl, it's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
Ola has taught us quite a lot if you've been here. Managing your expectation, emotional intelligence, how to control our emotions. Back in the day, if I'm doing this show, the way I will come for Daddy Fritz.
Man of prestige. Ha! Now this guy win. Now you win. Now you win today. Now you win. I agree. Man of prestige. Now man you be.
I'm sure some people will be jealous now the way I talk about Ola. But I have learned a lot from him. That's why I keep telling you to follow him. If you don't follow Man of Prestige, now you know.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. How's everybody doing? Good? Awesome. How's everybody doing? Do me a favor, hit that like button as you're coming in. Hit the like button. Share and subscribe. Share and subscribe. Turn on all your notifications so you can be notified when we do go live. Welcome back. This is Man of Prestige. My name is Ola. I'm coming to you live from my Empire Pro Studios. Over here we talk about relationships. Everything relationships. But we focus on power, we focus on self, we focus on social, seduction, attraction, emotional intelligence. That's what we focus on. You can download our testimony for free. It's a book. It's a whole book. And I say our, that means my wife and I. You can download the book for free, and you can also access a free masterclass on relationships, marriage, single, divorce, married, complicated, separated, all of that. Okay. We cover all of that. You can cover that at and also look out for a video that will release for only 24 hours. It might come out in the next 24 to 48 hours. Look out for that. Okay, so we're working. Welcome back. So do me a favor, like I said, hit that like button, share and subscribe. We have some things to talk about today. We are going to do some catch up on the Mohbad, Justice for Mohbad story. But we also have some other stories to cover before we get into that. Okay. Like I said, we're always talking about just relationships. Okay. I don't think anything else matters in life, to be honest with you. All right. I think nothing matters outside of relationships. You know how some people say, "Do you not have anything else to talk about?" Like, what else is there to talk about? There's nothing you're talking about in life that's not all based on relationships. Okay. So it just so happened that we tend to talk more about romantic relationships here, but the same rules, the same skills, the same principles is what's required. Okay, you go into a relationship, you go there to give, not give and take. Okay, you go there to give. If you can't do give, You're better off living in a cave and just doing you. Right? Just doing you. But what's the point? Why would I want to do that? Because other people also give into you, right? They also pour into you. The only thing I advise you not to do is don't pour from an empty cup. Okay? Avoid pouring from an empty cup. Make sure you have enough to go around with just you. Okay? So make sure you have enough. Make sure you know how to value yourself properly. But welcome back. Do me a favor, hit that like button, share, subscribe. We're missing about 10 likes already. Help me ping everyone else into the room. That's something you can do for free. All right. Just do it for me. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate you. All right. Shout out to all my sponsors: RiP, Life with Natu, Adesua, Film Girl, Open Floor by Tima, Shio Mama. What I mean by sponsors is that they are members of the platform. Okay, you can easily, whenever you see the join button, you just join. I think it goes as low as, let me see. I think it goes as low as $2.99 per month, $3. Okay, less than the cost of this thing. Okay. So per month, okay, that's how you sponsor the channel, okay. So shout out to RiP, Life with Natu, Adesua, or Odiri, Film Girl, Open Floor by Tima, Shio Mama, Gorex Corner, D-Love. Shout out to you, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Yes, I am still looking for today's sponsor. What that means is that you can super chat, you can super sticker, you can cash app. Cash App stuff is down there. You can see it scrolling on the screen always, okay? And that's how you support what we're doing here. I appreciate you. Thank you. All right, so today a couple of things I wanted to cover, and then we'll finish as usual. I want to make sure we're on time today. We'll finish as usual with some updates on the justice for Mohbad. Okay, they've changed. I've noticed that they've changed the hashtag to Mohbad lives on. You know, I said that some few days ago. You can't kill people like that guy. It's obviously impossible. You can only body. Okay, that's about it. Okay, and that's, you know, that makes things worse for those people that are still here, because those ones will collect, you know. But there's some updates, and we'll talk about that momentarily. Okay, but without any further ado, I will be right back. Let me go ahead and share my screen with you. We're talking about, first of all, we want to talk about some updates with Jeezy and Jeannie Mai. All right, some few days ago there was reports that let me remove that mouth. Okay, there's some reports that Jeezy filed for divorce. Sadly, I think their marriage is about 2 years or so. Right, Jeezy is a rapper, and she's a talk show host. I'm not sure what her background was, but you know, they're popular. A lot of people were rooting for their marriage. A lot of people found them cute. Oh, you know, all that kind of stuff, right? A lot of people wanted them to make it, right? But there's been some updates that I want us to talk about, because some of these things are the issues that we're all dealing with in one shape, form, or the other. The only thing is that, you know, when you have money and you have access and you have attention, monitoring spirits, you know, everything else being equal, the effects, what you're looking at, they're magnified, right? They seem a lot more bigger than what they are. But we've all had to deal with some of this issue. So I figure, like, let's just talk about this. There's some updates with regards to why they are filing for divorce. So I figure, why not? You know, if you're just dropping it, I know you might be busy in the background. Make sure you say hello in the chat. Don't leave me hanging like that. I'm actually going to be the first to post here. All right, so say hello in the chat. Let me know you're here. You don't have to talk all the time, but let me know you're here. Divorce, Jeezy and Jeannie Mai, difference in family values and expectations. That's what somebody said. Okay, Initially, some of the things we saw was they said they are not too far. How you doing? Good to see you. Initially, the original divorce petition that he filed says something about irretrievable. I'm a little clumsy today. I don't know if you can tell. I'm okay though. Just energy, That's why I have this thing here. It's not working. I need to wake up. Irretrievably broken, and there was no hope for reconciliation was the first thing there. And he's basically asking that everything needs to be congruent with what's in their prenup. So they have a prenup that is signed into in 2021. But then, a source allegedly told Entertainment Tonight that they have a little bit more insight into what's going on with why he filed for divorce. Now, from what we know from data, I've never really cross-checked myself, by the way, but that's what they say. More than enough people say, so I believe it, right? Most divorces, 80% of divorces are initiated by women, especially when it's college-educated women. Okay, somewhere between 80 and 90% if it's college-educated women, and 70% at least for the general, right? So for a man to, based off of that number, for a man to file for divorce, something went down. We don't know what it is, but it doesn't have to be something physical, tangible. A lot of people were already speculating things like, maybe she cheated or something like that. Well, sometimes all you need is small emotional blackmail, and it will feel like somebody cheated on you, right? It will feel like a betrayer, and then you will see the same reaction as if it was actual physical cheating or something like that, right? So don't get it twisted. That's how it works. Let's turn up on the like button. I beg now. Okay, all right. Turn up on the like button. I'll take a second. I'll take it. I need a break since nobody's hitting the like button. I'll just take a break. Okay. All right, so thank you for the 3 people who I just added to it. I appreciate you. All right, let's get it up to 10 at least. It's about at least 2 people watching live. Okay. So let's talk about them, right? So now they're coming out. According to Entertainment Tonight, they're saying somebody who is close to the family. Hello, Priscilla. Good to see you. They're saying that somebody close to the family is speaking up and saying that they know something, right? And they're saying that there's some differences in certain family values and expectations. And if you were wondering what that means, your guess was just as good as mine, right? But I could do a little bit of studies and see what that could mean, what's possible, right? Because at first, the original divorce petition says irretrievably broken. These are the reasons why I filed for divorce, is irretrievably broken and no hope for reconciliation. You can just verbally abuse a person and it will become literally irretrievably broken. You have to be careful what you say to your partner when you're upset, right? And some people, for whatever reasons, how they are made, you say the wrong thing to them, they can't see you the same way anymore. And yes, a lot of them are men. Okay, so I know that's like a surprise, but yeah, some men, they if you say the wrong thing, they might just be like, you know what, I don't know if I can. Yeah, it's a bad idea, right? And in the eyes of other people, they might consider it, that's not a big deal. That's all she said. That's it, But you don't really get to judge people on what they consider to be a deal breaker or not. I mean, you can try, but it's not going to work, right? The best thing you can do, the closest thing you can do to maybe helping them is understand. Understand. if you can't understand, the rest of it is going to be useless. Okay. All right. So they said they have different views, and each felt like their needs were being completely weren't being completely met. That's what the source said. Okay. So, and I was, you know what, that could mean so many things, but this are 5. I'm going to tell you just 5, just as a lesson, because I always like to cover these stories so I can extract lessons. When I see an angle for a lesson, I bring them up. Okay, particularly when it comes to romantic relationships, right? So, number 1, what could that mean? Differences in value, family values. It could mean so many things, right? We don't know. That's the reality. We don't know. But maybe this is going to help you a little bit. Maybe you can pay attention a little bit to some of these things, right? So the first one I'm going to share with you is cultural and background differences. And you know, I mean, you can look at them. That's quite obvious. Okay, most of us can see colors, so you can look at them. They look like they are coming from completely different backgrounds. Someone said, but you could be wrong. Yeah, I know. I'll let you have that, okay? But the truth is that they do look like they come from completely 2 different backgrounds. I think even when they talk, I've heard them speak before, you know, they come from completely different background, okay? Different dimensions. I've covered a lesson here, a masterclass here before. You can go find it. It's about the different dimensions that you don't want to cross. You know, when the scripture says, when the scriptures talk about not being unequally yoked, right? A lot of people really think it's about, oh, you worship Jesus, I worship Jesus, and that's it. No, that's a very limited way of looking at it, right? You could be crossing so many dimensions, and you need to be aware of those dimensions. Doesn't mean you can't cross them. It just means you should be aware that the more dimensions you cross, you're going to create friction, and I'm just hoping that you're prepared for those kind of friction. Some people call it conflict, right? So a lot of people are not prepared for that. It could be difference in economic class, it could be different socioeconomic class, different in race, color, religion. These things that really affect our sense of value in life. If you cross those lines, you gotta be careful. Hit that like button as you're coming in. Ping everybody else into the room. I appreciate you. Let's see. Natu is here, of course. Hey, Natu. Natu says, MOP, did you Robin Mind's interview with Kiso? I did. I saw that. Yeah, I saw that. That was a few days ago, actually. My first time live with you all in a while. Yeah, gracious greatness. Good to see you, bro. What's going on? How are you? I'm doing well. Hope you're doing well. D-Love, welcome. All right. So we're catching up with this story on Jeannie Mai and Jeezy. I keep saying Yeezy. Yeezy is Yeezy is Kanye West, but this is young Jeezy. He's a rapper from Atlanta, right? So what could it mean when you say somebody has difference in family value, and what is it that they said? Family values, difference in family value, and expectations. Oh, expectations. You know, I can believe the expectations part. Definitely. The family value thing is obvious to me because, listen, where we come from dictates a lot of those things, right? So, like I said, number 1, cultural and background differences, right? If they come from different cultural background, it doesn't mean it can't work. You just have to be super aware, unlike most human beings, okay? That means they have to be intentional with regards to how they decide to manage that for the rest of their lives. And if one person is going to feel like it's not enough, their needs are not being met, that's not necessarily intentional. It's just not being met. You know, when you had that together with the fact that a lot of people are not being intentional with these things when it comes to marriage, it's very easy for someone to go and file for divorce. That's the easiest thing for anyone to do today. The options are there. There's more people and more super shows on the internet, on TV, that are encouraging people to exercise their options. So, but the best way to mitigate that is awareness. Let's start with self-awareness. You just need to know that expectations, we all have them, but you have the responsibility to manage yours. Okay? Oh, guess what? You also have the responsibility to give the other person freedom or limited freedom to express their expectations. Wait, that's not balance. What do you mean? trust me, it's balanced. Okay, trust me. If you know what relationships are, it's pretty balanced. Okay, but I know you want to draw it on paper and say you do expectation, I do expectation, and that's not how it works. That's not how you started, so you shouldn't expect that will ever work anyway. You know. Number 2, parenting styles and future planning. Parenting styles and future planning. I'll give you an example. There's a rumor out there. Let me see if I can find that video, as a matter of fact. But before I go to that, let me first of all hail my big brother, or big uncle I should call, because Brother Patrick Bimilomo. Brother Patrick, good to see you, sir. Difference in family values. How the heck did they get married? Everyone that get married will have that. The only difference, some people are aware, some people are not. And some people made it through to the other side by addressing the issue and find a way to compromise one way or the other. Some people don't. We all come, unless you marry your cousin or something, somebody that was raised in your house. Like any one of us can claim different family values. Okay, it's just about, there's so many layers to how you were raised. You're gonna be different from your partner. So many ways, right? But to solve that problem is like 2 or 3 steps, really. Okay, 2 or 3 simple steps will solve that problem. But you know, many people, pride, unrealistic expectations, unmanaged expectations. It's hard. It's very hard to get through that. Okay. But the problems, they come in layers, multiple layers in so many directions. So if all you want to do is dwell on the problems, you will file for divorce too. It's a guarantee. The options are there, remember? $300. I'm sure in your own city, there's a lawyer guy who puts what do you call that thing? The big banner on the roadside. What do you call them? I forgot what they call them now. The billboards. There's a billboard in your city somewhere. $350 divorce. It's the easiest thing to do. It's not the easiest thing to go through, but in terms of to pull that trigger, oh yeah. Welcome, Chia. Yeah, so number 1, we said what? Background differences, right? You know, I told you the story of my father telling me, I think he repeated it when I asked him when he came here, right? That if you go in our small village in Usho, in Ondo State, when you cross to the next street, they have a difference in value. They have a different, and if you want to dwell on that and use that to destroy your family, it's very easy. Or you can say, hey, these differences can actually create extra bond between us just by, first of all, self-awareness, understanding, engaging, being interested in that person's background, right? And understanding that differences does not have to be such a bad thing, right? What's everybody talking about today? We need to be compatible. Find your type. What do you mean find your type? Like the person that looks like you, that smells like you, the person that likes everything you like? That's unrealistic expectations. It's no wonder why everybody is falling apart everywhere, right? Very little to no wonder why a bunch of marriages are ending up in the poto. Okay, the expectations are off, they're unrealistic. Number 1, cultural and background differences. Number 2, parenting styles and future planning. Like I was saying, I was in the middle of talking about, some people are speculating that there was an issue between them that might have, of course, people went to her page and they were saying there's some kind of chemistry between her and Ty Lopez when she was and she had a baby with her. And so people were speculating that might have been the reason why they're no longer together. They said there was an extraordinary type of chemistry between them. And, and they were saying that, why is that guy kissing their baby on the cheek? Which personally, I wouldn't appreciate myself. But, I'm not an Oyinbo person. So, I don't know if Oyinbo people are okay with that. With people kissing their baby, random people kissing their baby. But let me play this video for you and then we'll take it from there. Just watch this video, right? Let's see, let's close that.
Hey, Mama.
Oh my God. What are you doing? What are you doing? I know.
Food court is in session with my girl Jeannie Mai.
Oh my God, Mario, shut up. Let's just take a bite.
Oh, why is it turning like that?
Clara que
Let me
sí.
see if I can-
Absolutely. Muchas gracias. Delicioso. When I dip, you dip, we dip. Hey.
I don't know why that's turned up upside. Okay, that's turned upside down. I guess she did it like that. Let me try something.
Ooh, it's spicy. It's spicy. Get in there. So it's not as bad, but I didn't really do the ice cream. I'm not gonna lie. It's
Anyway, I'm not gonna worry about that. Clearly, you see, I don't prepare for this. I'm just playing it go, right? But anyway, the point there is this. Hold on one second. Okay. Let's get back to their picture. So they were saying the chemistry was, this was a few weeks ago, they were saying the chemistry was too tight and the guy was kissing their baby on the cheek. And why am I talking about that? You know, parenting style can cause a difference, you know, can create a difference. It's not a one-time event. If it's an ongoing thing, right? Like if they keep disagreeing on parenting style, yes, that can become family values differences. But somebody decided to come up with a solution. You know what? Let's just separate the family. That would be a solution to family values. Right? No, it's obviously it probably wasn't that simple, right? But that's what happened there. So parenting style can definitely cause difference in or difference in how they decide to plan the future. There's also a guy who said, let me see if I can find that video really quickly. There's a video that I saw just before I came live of another piece of speculation. This guy is from Fox Souls, saying that one second, let me see if I can find it. There you go. All right, I'll share this with you. There you go. Oh. All right, as you can see, Vlad TV is reporting here Jeezy and Jeannie Mai reportedly divorcing over family, right? But let's go to this one right here, this man right here. Let me see, make sure that my screen is big enough. There you go. Okay, we're still talking about parenting styles, right? But let's go.
I got the tea. Okay, so y'all know I had to call up to Atlanta, baby, and find out what all the hell was going on. Because I know people who are in that circle. Y'all ready for the tea, bitch?
yes.
It is, Lord. And it's nothing salacious. It is nothing salacious at all. And honestly, Heavenly, you're going to describe them all as things that they could work through. Number one, distance. Not being in the same place often.
Distance.
So that was a factor from what I was told.
I mean, they are rock stars. He's a rock star. He might be traveling a lot, right? So you can imagine, right? So, but again, I thought they were always doing that before. Well, somebody also said they have a COVID marriage. So everybody was locked up inside when they did it. So they probably didn't know that it was going to be that bad. But anyway, this guy is claiming that distance was one of it. Let's keep going.
The number two thing was she likes a social media relationship. He is a very private person. An example that was cited was that, you know, he would want to have a couple friends over. Next thing you know is she's got 50 people over and a party planner. You know, he didn't like all of that.
All right. So he didn't like the noise. To me, he doesn't come off as someone that liked the noise. But yes, that can also create problems, as you can imagine, right? That can creep on. But anyway, I'm just using that as an example. I'm showing you what it could be. We don't know what it is. Usually what people say when they're going through this painful process is not what it is actually. It's usually the symptoms they're talking about. They usually talk about the symptoms. When people say, oh yeah, people file divorce because of finances and infidelity, those are symptoms. Okay, those are symptoms, and those are things that it's easy to point fingers at. But many people stay in spite of those things. Okay, but if you want to trace it down, particularly to a point where we can apply solution, if you're going through this kind of situation, you want to trace your way back from what you feel, which is the symptom, or what you've observed, or what it looks like on the surface, including what people have committed, including like cheating and stuff like that. You want to trace it all the way back to pride and unrealistic expectations. Okay, that's the only way you can help yourself. Now what I just described is easier said than done. Oftentimes you need proper support to trace it back to those things, but those are the things at the core. Usually unrealistic expectations, unmanaged expectations all over the place, misguided expectations, and pride. That's what it comes down to. Because anything that's written down anywhere as the reason why people are filing divorces are the same reasons why some people stay together. Okay. Yeah, including some that you'll be like, wait, what? Yeah, you know the stories. Stop it. Stop the cap. Okay. That doesn't mean it's healthy. I'm just saying people stay together in spite of, right? Because value. If you can't think of it in terms of value, it's probably, could make sense. So anyway, like I said, parenting styles, future planning. If she's setting up parties every time he wants to have a few friends over, if she's gonna just set up a big old party and start calling the party planner, oh yeah, that will cause problems, right? Not a one-time event. If it's a consistent, there's no one-time event that causes people to break up. It doesn't exist. Okay, it's the repetitive. Now it might look like one-time event, but it creates the same feeling on a consistent basis. Eventually people give up, right? So, and it is what it is. Number 3, financial priorities and spending habits. We just mentioned that, right? Number 4, work-life balance, distance. He travels too much, it creates a wedge. Somebody fell on Ebola or into a Kwekus by mistake on the road. Listen, this is real life, okay? If you do that consistently long enough, yeah, it will happen. So work-life balance and time commitments are last but not least. There's many more that can become family values, differences in family values and expectations. There are many more, right? But the last thing I'm going to share with you today, like I said earlier, is religious and moral beliefs, right? What people's moral compasses vary from people to people. And oftentimes we can have a conversation one time and you might feel like it's aligned. And when we find ourselves in crisis or certain events of life, you might start to notice that, wait, this, when you do it like this, it kind of make me feel some type of way. And you start to look at things like that, you're like, and then and oftentimes one of the most difficult things about it is that you might not be able to put it into exact words. It's a difficult thing, right? And if you try to, shout out to Brother Patrick, say I use the right words. If you try to use the right word with your partner, it comes off as manipulation and you're trying to teach them or you're trying to be their father or their mother. And so it's not that simple, easy. It's easier said than done. I can say and talk here all day long. When it comes to my own personal, it's a different ball game. Don't get it twisted. Okay, but when you figure it out, life is bliss. Life is bliss. It's actually easier said than done. But like anything else that's worthwhile in life, once you figure it out, right, there are patterns. You can smell it. You can see it coming from afar. You can like humans are predictable at the end of the day, right? So eventually it becomes second nature, and then people say, hey, couple goals. Or they say you're lucky. Okay. All right. Good luck. Good luck to you, since I'm lucky. Felicia said, yes, unrealistic expectations. God bless you. I like your shows. Very, very educated. Keep up the great work. Felicia, shout out to you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Oh, did I say Ty Lopez? I know another guy called Ty Lopez. I meant Mario Lopez. Yes. Sorry about that. Mario Lopez. Yes. Chinya said, I don't agree with kissing the baby on the cheek part unless you're a close family. I don't even like their aunties or their uncles touching my babies. Like, but even family. I don't like, you just, I don't see anything wrong with it, right or wrong. It just rubbed me off, kind of like, it makes me feel some type of like don't do that, bro. Like, nah. I don't know where you're coming from. Jesus Christ, with that mouth. Right? Just hug them. Even hug. Sometimes they leave, you can smell their stuff on the body of the baby. Jesus Christ. Anyway, but you have to have some tolerance when you're dealing with people. Let's see. Did I miss anything? These talkative T men. Now, wow. They're working. It's work. Trust me. These guys are business savvy. Let's see. Parenting styles. D-Law say, oh my, these are not major issues. Oh yeah. The problem is that emotions no be our mates ni. Little things rubs you off wrongly at an emotional level, and then 5 years later you be like, that was it. That's it. But emotions, your feelings can feel like a storm, and really it's just rain, like it's going to be over in a few hours, but it can feel like storm, so it's, when you're in it and you're living with that person every day, if you're not self-aware, especially, just imagine when you're not self-aware, when you think like, no, it's cut 1 2 3, cut dry, me love you equally, respect me back, and right? When you're caught up in your emotions, you're like, if you're aware at all, you can catch yourself in the middle of feeling somehow, and you're like, why do I feel not okay, let me go and take a shower. When you dare just count down 30 seconds, go take a shower, it will feel all different. Gentlemen, hit the gym, go to the gym for an hour or so, pump. You will feel different when you're done, right? That's how mad our brain is. It tells you something different, completely different from reality, but your perceptions becomes reality. Anyway, parenting style can be worked out. All of it can be worked out. All of it. There's nothing that can't be worked out, literally. But we also can manipulate people into working things out, right? The more you try to manipulate them into it, the worse it gets, because they get caught up in their emotions more. And they can't explain what they're feeling. And you two, you're overreacting because you're like, this is it. We can't agree to disagree on this. And then when they see your face that way, they're overreacting more. It's like, boss. Before you know it, people are filing for divorce. I'm telling you. Let's see. Ola Amin using the words to explain. No, I got you, Patrick. I was using your point to make a point that I can do that. Easy for me to do that here when I'm teaching. When I have to do it and practice it in real life, it's not as easy as when you're saying it. I was using that to say the example of many of these things that we can see, including parenting style, all these things that we can see that's work out. I want us to be aware that those things, yes, on paper or everything, they're simple. When you are part of that equation, it's very, very difficult. Felicia is from New Zealand. Awesome. With their herpes mouth. I don't know where that mouth is coming from, right? Close family means mom, dad, siblings. Yeah, like the older brother, like the organ. Yeah. Once it's extended, meaning like you didn't come biologically from one of these people, or at least adopted. Like, but who's gonna tell them? You don't want to also offend people. Let's see. Ask Sukiana Viziba where her mouth has been. Imagine if Sukiana is your baby's auntie. Wait, how do you know where Sukiana's mouth has been? Tell us more. Gracious greatness. What are you looking at? LP, don't allow temporary emotion derail your marriage. A 65 years old told me she regretted divorcing her ex. Is deep. Yeah. Yeah, but the awareness, when you are aware that our emotions is a big part of this, you kind of like become a little bit more guided just because of the awareness. The awareness is half the battle won, because even though you might still be able to feel like a normal human being, you have time, you have mood swings and stuff, you can feel yourself in that period. You understand the nature of the human brain, and then you take a shower, you take a break if you need to, you do what you have to do. You say, hey babe, I'm feeling some type of way. Let me take a shower. Let me hit the gym. I'll be back. Babe, let me step outside. Let me just make a few calls to a few friends. Let me step out tonight. I just need to wind down. You know what to do because you're aware, as opposed to taking it out on your spouse, right? A lot of people don't know what to do with their emotions. They don't. Okay. Some of them even call it masculinity. Stray bullet. Right? Some of them call it masculinity. Anyway, speaking of masculinity, you know what? I'll be right back. So let's do a little bit of interactive session here. Okay. Let's do interactive session. Hit that like button. I'm missing 9 likes. Hit that like button, I beg. Okay. Hit that like button. All right. Let's talk about masculinity. To you, don't give me dictionary meaning. What is masculinity in your opinion? Let's do a little bit of interactive session. What is masculinity in your opinion? Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. What is masculinity in your opinion? What do you understand to be masculinity? And feel free to say it in comparison to femininity, not feminism, femininity, right? What do you understand masculinity to be? You can say masculinity is this and femininity is this, right? But give me your understanding up to now, and or you can tell me, I don't know, what you thought it was. Let's do a little bit of an interactive session, a few minutes before we get into some updates here with the Mohbad story. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. I'm waiting in the chat. I'm waiting in the chat. What do you think masculinity? Okay, feel free to give me dictionary meaning. Some of you are looking up the dictionary anyway. What is masculinity, right? And if you can guess what the CCC is on the screen, what is the CCC on the screen? Nene says confidence. I like that. I like that C. Confidence. I like that. The self-aware, that one, that one is another layer entirely, context. But in terms of masculinity, I like the confidence part. It's not part of my C's, but my C's are actually much more, they're actually much more simpler, 6th grade level words, you know. I was about to, let me just call you Brother Ben. It took me a second to interpret phonetism to Brother Ben. Brother Ben said, qualities of a man. I'll put that on the side for a second. There's no C in your thing, but I'll put it on the side for a second. Qualities of a man. I'm actually going to use that. Qualities of a man. Nene says confidence, self-aware. Mine is 3 words and they all start with C. There's 3 words I want to share with you today and they all start with C, right? Felicia says behaviors that are manly. I like the manly word. I like the manly word as against the word man, right? Man does not necessarily mean manly. There are a lot of men that don't know how to act manly. Lots of them, and there's more and more of them, and that definition of man might change over the next few years, few decades. Okay, what we know as man might actually change over the next few decades because human beings are evolving. Okay, so what we called manly might be turned into something else entirely. Let's just pay attention to that. Okay, maybe 50 years from now we'll have something else entirely. Okay. What did Brother Patrick say? Brother Patrick said, on a serious note, women are 100% different from men. Masculinity means maturity and wisdom. I like, so maturity and wisdom, I have to put them in the same group as what Nene said, which is self-aware. Those are all good qualities that we can attribute to both men and women, right? Even including maturity. Me, I like mature women though, and women that are wise. I love, it turns me on, to be honest with you, So, yeah, that's why I said manly is quite different from man, right? Manly is a moving target. That might change for, about 50 years from now. Man is not going to change. Man is a human being that's born with male genitals, right? But manly, that's a moving target that can change, okay, depending on where society is going. Okay, either it's evolving or devolving. Somebody said, no, it's not evolving, it's devolving. I said, you're right. Okay, don't be angry at me. I know it's not evolving. Everything is getting destroyed. You are right. Okay.
You're right.
All right. Let me see here. So let's see. Okay. Let me pin that. Masculinity, Brother Ben says again, masculinity is basically to embodies the qualities associated with men. Okay, so now you've adjusted more towards manly, right? But that's a moving target again, because 50 years from now, men may be known to get down on one knees and propose. Will you? No, sorry, the opposite. Women may be known to get down on one knees and propose, will you marry me? Right? And it might be just completely okay. We've seen some videos all over the place in recent times. You might see that being normalized more, and it's okay, it's okay, right? I don't know. 50 years from now, that's a long time from now, but it's gonna come very quick. Okay. Let me see here. But I like that you adjusted that to be associated with men. It's different from a man, right? Because a man is a man, regardless if he's born with male genitals and he identifies as a man, he's a man. See how I adjusted that small? I'm a very respectful person. I was also going to add to it. Then he says control of self or emotions. Well, control of self, that's the same thing as self-awareness. I put them in the same position. Emotional intelligence, self-awareness, self-intelligence, emotional intelligence, something we teach heavily here. I'll put that in the same category as self-awareness. Yes, I encourage every human being to engage those qualities. Every human being, and I think when you have one person in a marriage, especially that doesn't have those things, it can weigh heavily on the other person. This increased heightened chances that they won't last, because they will suck the life out of the other person. The other person can try their best, but me, I always teach seduction, ethical seduction anyway. But I think people should generally, you want people to have some of these qualities, right? But I'm talking about masculinity right now. Masculinity, particularly one half of sexual polarity in that respect. Okay, one half of sexual polarity in that respect, in that regards, in that context. Masculinity with regards to romantic relationships, right? So it's very easy to bring in lions in this conversation. Oh, lion is masculine, so it goes out there and hunt and kill other animals. Anybody telling no lions to shut up? The lions tell them to shut up. I think it is you. Drink water. You're not a lion, okay? But some people will say, masculinity, war, we'll fight war, Yeah, you're right. But we're talking about sexual polarity in particular, right? But Ben says masculinity is basically, okay, we already talked about that. Nani says, I was also going to, okay, we already talked about that. Felicia says, carefree confidence. Yeah, 6th grade people don't know what carefree is. They might act it, but they don't think they kind of know. 6th grade might know, but they don't have full comprehension of what those things are, right? Those are bigger words than my C's. Remember, my C's, they're actually a lot more, simpler words, right? But Ben, but Allah, you ask what masculinity means to us now, and so that I can engage it now, so we can engage back and forth. That's why now I'm still looking. See, I have mine, right? And I wanted to measure it against yours. That's the whole point. So mine is masculinity is CCC, 3 words that start with C's, right? And that's what we're looking for here. And your confidence, yes, that's a simple word too, but but my C's are kind of synonymous to confidence. Carefree, not so much. And I don't agree that masculinity is carefree. Masculinity, femininity is carefree. Femininity is chaos. Okay. Now keep in mind, their energy, they are not synonymous to man or woman. They might be manly, they might be womanly, based off of the social construct we live in right now today, which is moving. It's a moving target. Remember what I said there, right? But the reality is that it's a lot more layers to that and deeper than simplifying it to man or woman. Okay, their energy. Okay, a man can show feminine energy, a woman can show masculine energy, right? It's not typical, it's usually misplaced energy, but it happens all the time. Okay, right? You know that you say, why are you acting like a woman? Or somebody say, why are you acting like a bitch? They felt something. That's why they're saying that. They're not necessarily wrong, but they felt something with regards to that interaction, and that's why they're saying that, right? Or somebody tends to tell you all the time that you're masculine. You're coming off as masculine, right? That means you don't know how to let down your guards and let other people take care of you. Basically, that's what that means. That means you're always like, I gave this example before, I'll give it again, right? I got my first glasses. My glasses are not here right now. I got my first glasses some few years back. Maybe when I was, it's gotta be about 4 years ago or so. I was like almost 40, or maybe I was 40. I'm 43 now. And and the guy was like, he was trying to check my eyes, and I kept blinking. I was like, can you stay still? Can you stay still? I was like, I'll try to stay still. I was like, you know what? You're normal. Most men, they do that. When you come close to a man's eyes, the natural next best thing for him to do, this is what do you call them? Opta something, these eye doctors, right? This is what they naturally do, because a man is designed to protect, right? To keep an eye out and to watch out for anything, right? So because of that, it's easier to actually fit contact lens for women than for men. That's what he told me, at least, but it made sense to me, right? Yeah, ophthalmologist. Yes, thank you, T-Love. T-Love, welcome. Yeah. So think about it. So most men, they know that they need to protect, right? Most women are they receive, they multiply, reciprocate. We also use that. We say women are incubators, right? They don't really create anything. However, they multiply what you give to them and they reciprocate. And we're using that analogy to explain interpersonal dynamics when it comes to romance, right? All right, so now let's get back to the talk. But I bet it's still trying. But I bet it's okay. In terms of the 3C, I would say compassion, communication, and caring. I think men care. Care is part of that. Care is a good word, which is opposite of carefree. Okay, feminine energy. Okay. Now, let me correct myself really quickly. I just made a mistake. I'm not talking about man and woman. I'm talking about the masculine and the feminine energy, right? Two different things, right? They tend to go synonymously because we're in that social construct, okay? A man is expected to act manly, meaning he cares, protect, secure, create structure, security for everything. A woman is supposed to receive that, multiply that, create painting, make it look beautiful, chaos, make it look beautiful, and it just feels like, oh, just rest. Don't worry, there's no war coming to carry all of Unago. There's nobody invading your village, because the man who's acting malign is taking care of that anyway. You don't worry about that. You just receive seeds, you receive all of this, you multiply, you reciprocate, you make it beautiful. We'll call it family, right? So in that same direction, okay, that's what we're talking about. So that's masculine energy. When a woman doesn't trust her environment, right, she will naturally do what is the natural best thing to do: protect herself. When it doesn't feel safe or secure around her, then she will go on dates asking, what's your credit score? That's a woman who already doesn't feel safe with you, okay? Because the last thing, if she feels safe, the last thing she'll be asking you is, what's your credit score? Because she doesn't want any answer that would destroy the chances of what she's experiencing in that moment. Because she feels safe, secure. She doesn't want any answer that would destroy the chances that this is forever. She's already fantasizing about the future, right? When a woman has gone through some experiences, it's only natural for her to. This is why you hear a lot of accusations that somebody is masculine, they're masculine. It's not a crime. It's just a natural thing for a human being to do when they don't feel safe and secure. Okay. Now, men are kind of built or socialized to be that, right? Socialized to be that. Okay. But just a little bit I gave you right now, you can now rethink it and think about it yourself over time and then try to make more sense out of it. But you will see it around life. You will see all kind of evidence of this around life in general. Everything comes in two eyes, two nose, two mouths, two everything. Things come in two, right? They come in twos to complement each other, not to compete against each other. Okay, they come to complement each other, right? So that one can lift other in the area of their weakness, and then they can rest on the other person in their area of their weakness. Okay, so now I think I should give you the answer. My answer. Okay, now the answer is particularly to push against a lot of the rhetorics out there, which is masculinity is supposed to be barking at people, be stoic to the point that their stomach is turning. Like, I'm strong, I'm a man, you don't talk to me like that. That's not masculinity. That's a person who is afraid. That's a person who is scared shitless. That's a person who is moving with fear. Okay, that's a person who is not ready to protect. They feel fear. They're trying to protect themselves as opposed to protect their environment. As opposed to make everything around feel safe, secure, and all of that, right? Masculinity is cool, calm, and collected. Okay? Masculinity is cool, calm, and collected. Masculinity is like the rock, right? It's just is, right? You trust it. It's not going to move, right? But it has a role in the ecosystem, in the environment, right? But you trust it. It's not going to be flaky. It's not all over the place. Particularly masculine energy, okay? Masculine energy, okay? And when you have that, the feminine energy gets to be itself, chaos, but it's attracted to it because it doesn't have, feminine energy does not have that cool, calm, collected thing. It's chaotic. But when they come together, it's sexual polarity. It's like painting, right? It's beautiful. There's no exact order or structure or things to it, but most people will look at it and say it's beautiful. I don't even know why it's just fine. I think it's just beautiful, right? Just a mindset, okay? Energy, that's what you should pay attention to, okay? That's what you should pay attention to. So when she's all over the place, right? And seemingly she's caught up in her feelings. Can you remain cool, calm, and collected? Yes, you could be upset. It could be, a man can be upset too as well, right? What did Ebenezer Obey say? Suru la fin shokobiri, right? Are you able to exercise some patience, or you don't trust yourself, or you enter chaos yourself? When you mix chaos with chaos, what do you think is going to happen? Okay, well, guess what? If you do it long enough, if she's in a society where she's buying into equality at that level in a romantic relationship, she's going to try to help you. She will bring the cool, calm, and collected. But the kwekus will be dry. Could it work? It might work for a little bit, but eventually, she's not socialized that way. Typically, okay? There's some people that can, some exceptions to every rule, right? But typically, it's a bad idea. It's a bad idea to put yourself in a position where your woman has to be the one to stay cool, calm, and collected, and you tend to fly off the handle. Right? Now, I'm not asking women, I'm not saying women have the permission to fly off the handle. I'm actually talking about emotions. Okay? I'm talking about emotions. Remember that she has the capability to receive, multiply, and reciprocate. Make it beautiful, right? You set the tone, she makes it a home. You set the tone, she makes it a home. Now, 50 years from now, if this changes, then it is. You at least remember that I said it might change. I don't know. Human beings are evolving, but there's some things that just never change. Some things never change, right? It might be a moving target, but the concept never change. Sexual polarity is created from masculine and feminine energy coming together, right? So if it's going to flip to the other side, I don't know, okay? But if you're going to change the rules in this construct we live in, I hope you know what you're doing if you're swimming against the trend, because you might just drown. Okay? You might just drown. Everything I just described is easier said than done. Okay? Because we're all human beings, we get caught up in our emotions. But when you are aware, it goes a long way. It goes a long. Half of the battle is won when you're aware. Okay? Nini says, MOP, you described my late dad in those words. He had his flow, but he was a great man. That's awesome. They are good men. They're still good men, by the way. There's still a lot of good men here. Okay. There's a topic tomorrow, I think tomorrow, that we'll cover. Are there still good women out here? I think we're going to talk about that tomorrow too, you know. But yeah, shout out to you all. Let's get into some Mohbad updates. I'll be right back because I don't want to go past time today. I'll be right back. All right, so let's get some updates on Mohbad. Mohbad, hashtag Mohbad lives on. Yeah, you know when Yoruba people say anything, don't right? That's what Mohbad is, and I'm so glad that we're still covering it because I don't know, you know, maybe starting tomorrow I might let it lay a little bit and just highlight some of the, like today, I'm only highlighting maybe 2 or 3 things, you know. Because now, as to be expected, there's a bunch of useless mofos trying to actually use it to chase clout. Okay, cracking jokes. You know, people like Lege, people like Oba Solomon, those kind of characters. You know, I can't come here and be wasting you guys' time with that. You know, so I will not be doing that. But there's some highlights today, and there's some suspects that are becoming more suspect and more suspicious, and I figure we should bring that update because I almost actually did not make it the headline topic today. I almost did, but I was like, you know what, these are very important updates, particularly from some ballet of Ikorodu. You know, I was even looking at Ikorodu on the map. I was like, oh, interesting, Ikorodu is right there. So, you know, my wife was telling my wife is Lagos girl, but she doesn't know geography. So, but yes, so I'm gonna play some. I'll do some quick highlights here and there, you know. But the first one that I want to talk about is this. There's a young man, this man right here, that was in the car. The first viral video that came out with this lifeless body in the car, and this young man was crying, right? So let me see if I can find that video actually. Let's see. I think
I was at the hotel noticing that something to
okay, this guy.
Mohbad, Mohbad is dead.
Yeah, this guy right here.
Mohbad.
But before we continue, what are we talking about? Singer Mohbad reportedly passed away. Well, he passed away on the 12th of September, right? His real name, Ilerioluwa Oladimeji Aloba, popularly known as Mohbad, sadly passed away from what they claimed at the time to be hair infection. He's a popular artist in Nigeria. I didn't know his face before. I knew his music. And we did a whole live session where we played his music on some few episodes ago, if you don't want to go listen to that, right? But according to Pulse NG, sources from the singer's team revealed that he took a trip to the hospital in the early hours of September 12th. That was Tuesday. Okay, that was a week and 1 day ago for treatment, after which he was administered an injection. Okay, those of you that are nurses and doctors here, medical doctors, I know some of you are here. Does injection and ear infection go together? No, think about Nigerian context too, by the way. Does that go together? You know, because that doesn't add up for me, but I'm not a medical person, so I'm not a clinical person, I should say, because I do consult in healthcare. According to them, Mohbad passed out shortly after the injection and unfortunately did not wake up. This revelation is coming minutes after it was reported that the singer passed on. So this guy was the guy that was with him. He was the one driving.
Mohbad is dead. Mohbad.
Right?
Mohbad.
So,
Something to
now there's an audio. There's an audio that's coming out.
I was
here.
at the hospital.
I'm gonna play that audio of somebody saying they were at the hospital. Okay, when he came to the hospital, in fact, he was full of life. He was kind of out of it, but he was full of life. But I'm gonna let you guys listen to it yourself, and we'll take it from there. Okay, let's just listen to that together. These are some of the. This is one of two most important updates today. Okay, maybe three.
That morning, when Mohbad arrived, he came with.
Let's see here.
I was at the hospital that morning when Mohbad arrived. He came with one guy, the same guy that his video was trending on social media that was shouting, Mohbad is. And that's why I told you that guy, he had a lot of questions to answer because he know a lot of things that Nigerians don't know. The same guy he came with, and he is the same guy that took him out of hospital. Now, I was at the hospital that morning when he arrived, and I even took a picture with him. I will send you the picture. So when he came, I was happy to see him. I requested if I can take a picture with him, and he said no problem. Though I noticed he looked so down. He was looking so down that morning. I was like, Mohbad, I used to listen to your song. I'm one of your fans. Can I please take a picture with you? And he said, okay, no problem. So after taking this picture with him, he went inside. And I was sitting down at the reception there. I was just looking at the picture. Then after 20 minutes, after 15 to 20 minutes that he went inside, I was at the hospital that morning when Mohbad arrived. He came with one guy, the same guy that his video was trending on social media that was shouting, Mohbad is. And that's why I told you that guy, he had a lot of questions to answer because he know a lot of things that Nigerians don't know. The same guy he came with, and he is the same guy that took him out of hospital. Now, I was at the hospital that morning when he arrived, and I even took a picture with him. I will send you the picture. So when he came, I was happy to see him. I requested if I can take a picture with him, and he said no problem. Though I noticed he looked so down. He was looking so down that morning. I was like, Mohbad, I used to listen to your song. I'm one of your fans. Can I please take a picture with you? And he said, okay, no problem. So after taking this picture with him, he went inside. And I was sitting down at the reception there. I was just looking at the picture. Then after 20 minutes, after 15 to 20 minutes that he went inside, I was at the hospital that morning when Mohbad arrived. He came with one guy, the same guy that his video was trending on social media that was shouting, Mohbad is. And that's why I told you that guy, he had a lot of questions to answer because he know a lot of things. So I noticing that they were just moving around, a lot of confusion. I couldn't understand. I noticed that they were trying to make call, they were trying to call some people, the nurses, they were just walking around. And something was not just right. So I have to stand up. I needed to ask someone what's going on because at the time I was even kind of afraid if I'm safe there. So I have to I saw the nurse that was trying to calm me down earlier. So I called her and I was like, what happened? She whispered to my ear that they gave Mohbad injection, and before my own very eyes, this same guy that came with Mohbad rushed him out of the hospital, shirtless, out of the hospital, and everything just happened so fast. Normally, okay, you gave a patient an injection, and he passed out. At least the hospital will do something or try. Started noticing that they were just moving around, a lot of confusion. I couldn't understand. I noticed that they were trying something to at least try to resuscitate him or try to do something, even if he passed out or maybe he's confirmed. Maybe the hospital will even be the one to even arrange properly to even take him to mortuary.
The way he's telling the story, yourself.
The guy with some nurses, they were the one that rushed this guy out hurriedly in my presence. Oh God, oh, this life. There's nothing in this life there's nothing at all in this life. This is someone I saw. I saw him in my own eyes that morning. I saw him. I was still at the hospital when I heard the news that he was. And I so quick. These people did not even try to do anything safe. They did not even. In fact, These people, they did not try at all to help this guy. Like it was deliberate attempt, something to at least try to resuscitate him or try to do.
All right, so that was that audio. Let me come. Wait, hold on 1 second. This is the guy right here. That this person is claiming that they should be finding this guy too. Hopefully, this person is being questioned, of course, right? All right, so this was posted by Instablog Nigeria. It says trending voice note of an eyewitness narrating what allegedly transpired at the hospital Mohbad was rushed to. This person said, make it easier for us by naming the hospital. This is what Brother Ben is trying to say. Name the hospital. God damn it. Up to now, the details of the hospital hasn't been known. Wow. So we don't know the hospital yet. Yeah, I haven't seen anything. That's true. I haven't seen anything. But with all the CCTV around town and stuff like that, should be easy. Hopefully. Someone said, firstly, give us the name of the hospital, the picture you took with him, and your hospital card, evidence that you truly went there. These are good points that they are picking up, by the way. All this, let me see. All this information be looking like clout. Yes, that's what people are suspecting. What's the hospital name? Location? Where's Nigerians? I said this to my wife a long time ago. Nigerians will just go out there, turn on the microphone. Sometimes just their fingers, and they will just say something, and people will just run with it. This is why Desmodelio was trying to shut down social media. But anyway, Felicia said if truly is ear infection, he should be prescribed oral antibiotics, not injection. Now, I understand that in the context of here in the Western world. I just, I was asking, like, in Nigeria, is that the same? Like, do people give antibiotics injection for ear infection? And then also, what would be the typical symptoms of ear infection? Is it like your ears are hurting you? Is it because, what would be the symptoms? Why would somebody show up to a hospital for ear infection, right? What would be the symptoms? That I would be curious to what that is, right? But I bet this guy tells cock and bull story. What is the name of the hospital? That's a good question. If you're going to tell the story, reference nouns, nouns, not just pronouns with it. First off, who closed the case? Mohbad file. You mean at the hospital, the petition, or at the hospital? Because we don't know the name of the hospital yet. No case is supposed to be closed without requesting more information. Well, they said he didn't answer to the invitation after he filed the petition after Sam Larry, the alleged political thug, filed a counter petition, he did not answer. That's what they said. So the person that closed the case needs to be questioned. Yeah, there's a lot of people that needs to be questioned. Yep. If not for something, Nigerians are investigators. If they let them, if they don't start shooting people at the toll gate, if they let them, they will find out. Like the thinking going into same thing. Why did Have leave Malian record? What do you mean? I missed that. When he made allegations of bullying from their camp, did they address it? They needs to be looked into. Hearing impaired or blocked. Okay. Pain, headaches, ringing. Okay, so he probably showed up because of those kind of symptoms. Okay. But the way this guy, we don't know if it's true, just described this like somebody showed up, they entered a room and the injection and he passed out. It's weird. Exactly, where did ear infection come from? Does ear infection cause serious physical pain, needing to be rushed to the hospital? Yeah, because for me, as far as I'm concerned, my babies have infection before, that's usually, I'm trying to think, I'm trying to think about the symptoms. Yeah, they might be like maybe a little fever here or there. Like, oh yeah, he has a ear infection. I'll give him antibiotics. Usually you go pick it up. This is not Nigeria, so you go pick it up at the pharmacy. That's how that works here, right? And then it's a process for the healing. So it's not an emergency situation usually when there's some kind of physical infection like that. The nurse at the hospital, on what diagnosis did she give? Yes. What is the diagnosis? A good question. What is the diagnosis? Like, nurses can give diagnosis. That's true. They can give the diagnosis, but still, we need to know what that is. She needs to come in to questioning. Okay, I'm sure they will. They said 2 weeks. Unfortunately, they said 2 weeks as of today. It's going to take before we hear another thing. Okay, according to Auntie Yabo, it's going to be 2 weeks before we hear anything. Okay, so we'll keep an eye for it, right? Who was the doctor who confirmed him dead? We need the death certificate. Well, he was carried with a lifeless body out of the hospital by this guy, according to that fake cock and bull story that we just heard. So we don't know. Okay, we don't know. But that's a good question. It's probably a million zillion questions. Headache is number one symptom. Okay, all right. I think Natu meant, why did he leave the record label? He left the record label because he wanted to change his, according to him, this was actually on tape. He wanted to change his manager. That was the last thing we know, I think. He wanted to change his manager, and they didn't want him to change his manager. He said the manager was Marian's brother, not necessarily biological brother, but a brother. But Naira Marley did not want him to change management. And then at some point, they said there's a lot of fight. You remember that video that came out of him trying to save his life? There was a lot of fight. They were basically torturing him, assaulting him, as a matter of fact, in the house, allegedly. And eventually, he opted to leave, right? He opted to leave, and since then, he hasn't had any rest. Even according to the mother, since he joined Naira Marley, he's never had any rest. Because a lot of people testify to the fact that his personality actually doesn't really gel well with what they do in that. But you know, these young men, they just want to blow. So they think they are compromising. But when you compromise, there's certain values you don't want to compromise on. The same thing goes for relationships and marriage too. There's certain values you shouldn't be compromising on. Compromise is a thing. But there's certain things you shouldn't be compromising on. There's just some things, okay, that you shouldn't compromise on. But let's see here. Why did, another question. You got a question, huh? Why did his dad rush to bury him? He needs to be questioned too. He said, okay, speaking of rushing to bury him, I'm going to play another video right about now. Okay. Maybe this video will tell you. You see that Baba with the arrow in his face? Right, this man with the arrow in his face. Let's ask that Baba. Let's see what he has to say. There's a video that was floating around earlier. There you go. Okay. All right, here we go. Hopefully you guys can hear clearly. All right, so I'm going to do translation, Yoruba translation. There's a young lady behind this camera saying, talking to this man. This man is the Baale of Ikorodu. Baale is like it's like the king of a small town, a king of a village. Ikorodu is known as like a neighborhood, sort of like a conglomerate of neighborhoods, right? So the head of that of Ikorodu is more a town, you know, a small town part of a big city, Lagos, of course, right? Is the Baale of Ikorodu. So there's a young lady, but I don't know if it's young, but there's a lady behind the camera that was saying that people are saying you did not say anything about what is going on in your neighborhood, and that's what he's trying to do some shalaye right now. Let's see what he has to say. Courtesy means you didn't pay attention, right? You didn't pay attention to what has been happening in your backyard. And he said, what? We are the one. He said he was the one who refused to allow them to bury him first. That they wanted to bring him in the middle of the night on the day of his passing. Remember, they buried him 24 hours later, right? But in the middle of the night before that morning was when he got a call. They were actually going to bury him, and he refused it. Okay, that's what he's saying. He said he called me. I first did not answer him, and he said to them, no, you cannot bury him in the middle of the night, or bury his body in the middle of the night. Right? Yoruba people, that's literally like a proverb that is used a lot. Like, you know, when you go bury a dead body in the middle of the night. Right?
lóòrù kí ló dé.
ti ṣe chairman àdúgbò yìí mo lè ṣe deputy chairman sí di gbogbo area if I decide to ṣe kò sí chairman sí di gbogbo area mo ti act for some days.
So he's been ahead of that neighborhood for a long time. All right, so that's the viral video that's been going around apparently from the Ballet of Ikorodu. This person said Mohbad's father supported Naira by saying Malian music only taught him a lesson. You remember that audio? He doesn't think Naira Marley caused his death. It's the same father that rushed to bury him. Right? Mohbad's father should be arrested alongside the guy who recorded him and claimed him dead in the car. Well, you mean to be questioned. Somebody said, may I not pick a wrong father for my unborn children? Ami. If you know Mohbad's dad knows about his death, hit the like. There's 1,100 people that hit that like. Women, once you leave your marriage, please carry your child, because what's Abasimi? Anyway, I'm not sure that his biological father, cause that's his biological father, cause they don't even look alike in any way. That doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean jack shit. The father is either complicit, threatened, knows something, or could be directly involved. Either ways, the man isn't innocent. All right, let me come to. So that's the other video that I thought was important today that I wanted to share. Not to say NDLEA needs to be investigated too. That rubbish needs to stop. We talked about that here yesterday, right? His departure from the record label needs to be investigated too. Nigerians are Russians now. All those questions, no carry weight for Niger. Let's hope so. But apparently one of the things that I think Nigerians need to start paying attention to is being discouraged by the past records of their agencies, their government agencies, right? The government agencies in any developed country in the world or developed country, they're not perfect. What you do as citizens is you keep pressure on them. You don't give up. You don't say, well, they will never do anything anyway. Kind of like what we do with our elections. Like, we can't win anyway. No, you keep pressure on them. That's how you achieve a developed nation. Okay? The idea of waiting for a perfect government agency once a day in the future where our life will just be perfect, it doesn't exist. There's going to be an ongoing room for improvement in any government agency. So while they might police NDLEA, Tinubu Neo, they might have their issues and stuff like that, we have to keep that in mind, that we cannot afford anything that sounds remotely like we give up on that society or give up on the government agency. What you do is you keep your foot on their neck. That's how you achieve better. Okay? When more people are empowered thanks to social media, the more people continue to speak up, the less power they have, the more scared they are, the more disoriented they are, right? So they will have to adjust, because at the end of the day, all these people have something they care about, and there's nothing that they care about that's disconnected from the people. They're all counting on people giving up on them. That's how it works. They're counting on, they won't care anyway. They're counting on that, and we can't keep encouraging people to, they won't. No, they have track records. Guess what government agencies have track records? Bad track records, blood. Right? America. No, I didn't mean the Americas. I'm talking about the United States of America, the greatest nation in the world. Okay? You don't think they have blood on their neck? It's because you have to keep pressure on the government agencies. Okay? You have to keep encouraging those that have time to be involved in the process. We need to keep encouraging them. If you have time and you have it in you, some of us don't have it in us like that. Some of us, we just do media, right? You have to keep the pressure. As long as you have it in you, at the very minimum, encourage people to engage their voice. Abasi means my God. Oh, they said that in the video. Okuoru, yes. A lot of questions to answer. Wow, bury him in the middle of the night. Mohbad's father needs to be questioned. Yep. So that guy, we can't say that video is fake too. The video but they need to find the person that recorded that video, and many other people that were in contact with him within the last 24 hours. They will be the source to many truth. Right? Yes, carry your child, or if you're leaving your marriage, I find it strange to abandon one's child. Oh, so much more to that. So much more that we can speak to that. I just pray that you don't find yourself in this place of crisis. And also, from back in 27 years ago, or was it when he was 10 years old? 17 years ago, they said 15 years. Even up to today, there's a lot of women that needed to escape for their life, but they take the children away from them. Like, where are you going? Right? It's a lot of them, a lot of children are left with their father like that. You saw an example of that publicly. What was that, 2 years ago with FFK Femi Fakade? The lady left the children. She's back with him now, but it's just that society. That's one of the issues they can fix in that society. But she has to self-preserve. We don't know what that feels like back then, right? But nonetheless, if everything else were equal, yes, I would say don't leave your children. But that means so many things. I don't even know where to start with that, right? But ideally, yeah, no one should leave their children, But yes, so those are the two stories. I think there was one more update. Okay, the other updates, I'm gonna play it right now. Let's play Sam Clef. Let's give Sam Clef a benefit of the doubt. He's covering the story. He's trying to do the right thing, but it looked like this shook him up. There's something about him that it looks like it shook him up. He's been a victim of that industry from a long time ago, particularly victim of being blacklisted. Okay, so Sam Clef was the guy who was responsible for first WizKid's album. Okay, so he can relate with the mob mentality where you just blacklist people. So this is quite personal to him. So I'm not gonna knock that. Let me play this video for you. Let me see.
My fellow Nigerians, I just want to say congratulations because we are progressing. There's some information that we can't put out here, but as I can tell you guys categorically that they say if you want to win a battle when you're fighting a demon, you need to cut their wings first. When you cut their wings, they won't be able to fly. Did you watch what's that movie again? Wakanda. You saw that guy. They have to cut his wings. So Naira Marley wings have been cut in the sense that justice has started. All the promoters have taken down, withdraw. As I'm speaking to you guys, MTV Base have taken down all his music. As I'm speaking to you guys, Sound City. So we've done our own work. So it's now left for the police to do their own work. And for the police to do their own work, we all need to cooperate with the system. In as much we know that the system was corrupt or is corrupt, but we still have some good people because we cannot categorically say that everybody in the system is corrupt. So let's be patient with the system and let's abide by the law. Let's respect the law. There is still hope in Nigeria. Justice for Mohbad. God bless you all.
All right, so that's what he said. You heard it. Congratulations, there is progress, dear fellow Nigerians, and more light. Oh, more light. Interesting. Justice has begun at the highest level. MTV Base, which is a big deal, has removed all Naira Marley songs from their platform. Sound City and promoters in the United States, London, and Europe have followed suit. Now, this is what some people are calling they are convicting him. Now we await the final justice from the police. Let's remain patient and still hold hope for Nigeria and its police force. They will show us whether they are for or against us. Justice for Mohbad, right? Dollar is currently 1,000 naira. Is that true? This is not right. Tinubu is in New York City. And fuel price is still 600 naira. I thought dollar was like 800 or something, no? I mean, the person's talking about black market. After getting justice for Mohbad, I think we need another justice in one accord like we are doing now. Except you like suffer. Remember that what happened in 2015 when Goodluck attempted to remove fuel subsidy? Same government in power now fought against it and made the man look bad. This one. So anyway, that's the other good news, is that they're canceling everywhere. Now, I'm not a big fan of cancel culture personally. Okay, I'm not, because I think the social media is a double-edged sword. If it's not, if we're not careful, it can destroy for everyone, right? So I'm not a big fan of that, but there's some things that are just too obvious. Oppression should not be encouraged. Bullying should not be encouraged. If somebody has a track record of bullying people, I mean, you remember DJ Splash, right? That we showed yesterday. We have to, we have to hold people accountable. If they are truly innocent, they will come back. Okay. For now, consider it questioning. Okay. Consider all of this questioning for now. That's the way I see it. That's the way anybody with any level of, that's the way they should see it. Okay. Let me see here. There's something I'm looking for here. Yeah, I was looking for DJ Splash, right? DJ Splash. Remember that video? We played that video here yesterday. Okay. But let me play a little bit. Natu was asking about K Solo earlier. Let me play a little bit of that. K Solo is a producer in Nigeria. I played a little of that actually 2 years ago. Hold on a second. Oh.
With problems, I've been able to come back and make a hit. The band left.
Listen to that carefully.
He's probably one of the only artists that has left a label in Nigeria that's been able to bounce back and release a song and make a hit.
That's
no
Mohbad.
artist that's left a label in Nigeria with problems have been able to come back and make a hit. The band left Moito. I mean, Waneko left Moito. Waneko is still struggling so bad to get up, to get a hit. Of course, a lot of people love him. I'm a fan of him. You get what I'm saying? So on the low, we the push and we love him. So it's the love that we want for one day. But when you talk about a hit, Mohbad has been probably the only artist that has left a label with a problem, with an issue, and come out and made a hit. 1, a hit. 2, a hit. So it's a strong force people to reckon with. And let me tell you the truth, because he died in a very mysterious way. We just woke up in the afternoon and just heard Mohbad is gone. For what now? Not with that boy. For what?
So
he has never been called sick.
The recent rise in his streaming, where would the money go? Because it has been a topic of debate. Because there's still the case is still in courts as to getting back his catalog.
I overheard from the management saying that he was pressing on the case too to actually get his catalog back and all that. The new album he just released is under his own label, and hopefully that's actually one of the songs that are actually trending, where he can make his money back as well. But in the middle of all this, the only thing I can say to Nigerian artists is they need to calm down. You need to do the needful. You must take it easy in your pursuit for fame and fortune. Take it very, very easy. There's a whole lot of hyenas outside there that are not who you see them to be. A lot of them come on social media, they share money. They are not who they used. They are not who they are. Who they paint themselves to be in the public. Behind, they are wild animals. I'm just going to say this and drop it on the table for them. Be careful. Not all people we see on social media, you call them baba. They are wrong people in the real life. A lot of you artists that have talent can be stars. Just the time. Follow that process. They know that you guys are not ever patient. Is the reason why you always fall victim. And let me say this again. I said, before Mohbad entered into Naira's page, he would have sensed a lot of stuff. Naira can't tell me he's not into all this substance. You will have seen yourself that this place is not the right place I'm supposed to be. But the pursuits that I want to be big will keep you there. and say, maybe for example, let me use like 1 year or 2 years, maybe I can go. Who they carry leg enter inside river, we can they shout cold. You are in there.
So the point is that these kids, they knew what they were signing up for, but I also say they are gullible young kids, right? And you know, when you have the vulnerable in society, you have to protect them. You have to put policy in place to protect them ultimately. So this is not an excuse for people like Naira Marley to operate the way they've been operating from these allegations, right? Just something to note anyway. But let me play. Remember, we couldn't see clearly. We couldn't see him clearly yesterday. But let me play a little bit of his. Remember, we're talking about DJ Splash orientation, right? Is the other kid that is still here, okay? But they've basically left him almost lifeless. It's just sad to watch. But let me play this for you, and then we'll go to the next one. There's one more video I want to play, and then we'll round up for the day. Let's go.
To straight music, like I should even be in the industry straight, cause apart from DJ, I still like it's music. Like I know about music. Do you know what I'm talking about? I know about music. Like
you know about music, I know.
Yeah. So I'm trying to put into music. So I explained to him that he said what happened Splash. I tell him, you work on this DJ's work. My mom, she used to call me sometimes that even if it's 20,000 you have, send it to me. My last one.
All right, listen to that carefully. He said while he was in the Naira Marley Malian music camp, the mom used to call. That's what I think I understand. He used to call, like, even if it's just 20,000 that send. But watch the mom how she responds here. Just keep going.
Moses, it's like he's going to school. He need the school fees. Well, how much I send that time? That can like you know. I don't have too much. Yeah, I don't. Because the work I'm doing.
So the mom made sure that she said, I even sent money to him, right? So, but he's revealing something there. He's revealing something there. This parents, when they send their kids, it's when a Naira Marley called you about 3 years ago. Not now, obviously now. In hindsight, you know, we know what we know, right? But back then, as a typical mother, in the middle of nowhere in Ekorodu Yanokpaja, your son is now hanging out with the Naira Marley, who is the talk of the town. Everybody's talking about this guy. He's blown. He's that big guys as far as they're concerned. It's like Adura Mitigba. It's like your prayer has been answered. Like your kid is also moving up, right? That's how they saw it. So I'm not exactly surprised that the mom was like, hey, say anything to you, send me something. The boy was being a DJ. He was here and there. They give money and stuff like that. He's living with them, right? But the point I'm making there is that these parents, a lot of them are not educated. They release their kids to these people without even knowing where their children, like she had no idea where her child was, right? The excuse she's giving is that if we go there, they have to let us in the gates. We don't know where we're going, all this kind of stuff. Now, this boy is grown. There's only so much you can control this boy, especially if he was raised the way it looks like. It's a street boys, right? There's only so much, right? But this is all part of the result of that kind of society, right? Education, economy, social economy, these things tend to go together, right? And when it gets really bad, it gets really, really badly, okay? Now, we're doing justice right now and all this kind of stuff, but we need to build systems that will protect these people, do a little better job, right? That will protect the vulnerable of society. But the way I see it is that these kids are the vulnerable of society, including their mother. Like, for example, this woman is a widow.
I send what I can't send. He doesn't used to give me money. I won't lie. So, and the work I'm doing, any work I see and do, I used to use and say to myself to eat food, to put on dress.
Doesn't give you money, doesn't give you food.
Doesn't used to give me money. Doesn't used to give me money.
Okay.
So I'm just trying to do some things that it doesn't be like he left home. What?
Now to say, which accent is this? This accent seems like it's mixed with the Korodu, Malian accent, Peckham, Lekki, Pidgin, Street. There's all kind of stuff that's going on in there. Just leave it. Just feel it, okay?
You know what I'm talking about.
Did he just bop?
So,
oh yeah, he did.
You know what I'm talking about. So, as I tell him, this work I want to be doing now, man. And unfortunately, all of them, they started planning things together. Like, maybe they're trying to go into like religion side. Maybe them are Muslim. They're trying to like, I know this.
Anyway, if you look at that woman's face right now, you could tell. What did D-Law say? Oh my God, look at this mother's face. She's in so much pain. Yes, she is in pain. And she's looking at him like, this is not, what I can, if I were to guess, she's like, this is not my son. Right? This is my son, but where's the rest of my son? That's what's going on through that woman's face right now, or her mind. Just look at her face. She's looking at him in like, am I ever gonna get my full son back? Yeah. It's just a sad situation. It's just sad, right, to watch. But the Nigerian, the youth, they have a lot of drug issues right now. Okay, a lot of people are going through a lot. There's a lot of drug issues going on right now in Nigeria. But let me play this. Let me play this other video. Okay. All right. Shout out to Dempsey TV. All right. So I see Folukada Amola. I see Yabo Ojo. Do you see any music artists, executive here? I don't see any of them. That's interesting. Do you see anybody? I don't see anybody. I just see the actresses. We also know that Tony Abraham has been involved. We know, well, K-Solo has taken this up as personal. Well, we know that ID Kapaza spoke out as well. A lot of them are posting on the internet, but they're not directly involved. That's interesting. That is interesting. Let's see here. Unfortunately, the accent he's hearing in his head is not what he's projecting out. Yes, that boy is going through a lot. The boy's cognitive is off. It's not okay, precisely. You know, I didn't know him before, but it does look like something is off. Ola is poverty. All these kids go into Yahoo and their parents know. Yeah, this is all. See, it looks like we're saving them right now, but when they start digging stuff up, you're gonna be finding out a lot of information. Because don't forget that Naamali has been accused of Yahoo before too. They are the one taking care of their parents. Yes, you know, I didn't want to be insensitive. I didn't want to pick up the fact that he said. My mom will call me sometimes, if it's only 20,000 said, because she was also trying to raise and send other people through school. Poverty, exactly. The suffer in Nigeria is too much. These small boys are being put in breadwinner position so young that they will sign any document, anything. That's one of the things that K-Solo was talking about. Like just to sign, and then they'll find out later on that some clause said it's 3 years and above, as opposed to the term is 3 years of this contract. All right, we don't even have rehabs like that over here. Yeah, let me play some of this video. This is them at the police station today, I guess.
So this is a medium for the Nigerian police force to show to the Nigerian youth that regardless of whatever might have happened behind the scene, the truth, justice will prevail. Sir, Mohbad is a reflection of who a Nigerian youth is.
Yes.
This is a young man that was struggling. This is a young man who believes in dignity of labor. This is a young man who was a carpenter and who strived to believe. He believed in his dreams. He became a singer, and on the pathway of greatness, he felt that he could liaise with people who are on top of the game, and that led him to Naira Marley. Unfortunately,
I'll come back to this. Let me play this video. I want you to see this video so you can have an idea of what it looks like for a boy to come out of Ikorodu and to make it, to have a few hits on radio around the world, literally. They don't know what to do with themselves. Okay, this was just 3 weeks ago. This was just 3 weeks ago. Let me show you. With I am King Rudy, one of the P Squares. He was in London. This was just 3 weeks ago. He was in London. Not only that, he was able, according to Polo, which was a music executive in Nigeria, the guy who creates the One African Fest concerts. He said, after this concert, One African Fest, after this one, he actually got a bunch of other opportunities. He went to Greece, I think, right? It was looking so much up for him. But also during that trip, he couldn't step out by himself. He was afraid that Malian boys in UK will harass him. He was asking for bodyguard, security. And Paulo was like, are you mad? Like, security, nothing's gonna happen to you. This is London. It's like, no, I need, like, do you know why? Can you guess why? Is it possible that they had been calling him? They know that I was going to London. We would touch you. If you go to, like, listen, you're going to London, right? You remember you still owe me money, right? You owe me money. No, you're not. You released a whole album under your own label. Because he just released the album under his own label. He left Malian music. The other hit songs, the majority of the ones that you know, are all under Malian music. Right? So K Solo was talking earlier, said he's the first that will come out of a struggle deal and actually have a hit. The future was looking so much up for him. Do you know what it means to come out of the streets in the Ikorodu as a carpenter, young man, to be in London and be on the stage, right? Yeah. So it's just, it's a very, very sad situation. It's a very, very sad situation. I just wanted to put that context there. Let me go back to that video. That man that was talking to the police right now, he knows what he's talking about.
Ultimately, their collaboration could not go on, and they parted ways. After a series of events, the young man discovered that he was being harassed, he was being intimidated, he was being threatened, and he made a petition to the Assistant Inspector General of Police Force Criminal Department at Alagon. Till date, we do not know what has become of that petition. Sir, I recognize that there is superiority in the Nigerian police force. And I also recognize that the Nigerian police force is a creation of the law. And the law does not recognize persons, it's not a respecter of persons regardless of status and class. The Nigerian police force has, not formally, but we heard that because Mohbad did not show up, the petition was not taken up. But we know too well that even in court, virtual hearing is being done. We want
Zoom calls
that are found to be culpable of the remission of duty. Officers of the Nigerian police force that did not take up that petition to be disciplined. That is our number one demand. Because if that petition had been acted upon, Mohbad would not have died. I believe so. That petition shows that some suspects who I know are innocent until they are proven guilty are above the law. It is an assumption. And I want the Nigerian police force to correct that solution. The second thing, sir, that we are demanding for is that henceforth, any petition that is submitted to the Nigerian police force, Lagos Police Command, or wherever, is a suggestion, sir. Same should be digitalized. Same should be computerized. And any officer assigned to such petition, there should be what we call evaluation reports. The third thing is that, sir, we recognize from, we are aware that
DJ Splash, right? It's still very much. So, sir, please, I would like this boy to be brought in, questioned, find out what exactly is going on with him, whatever transpired between him and Mali, you know, and we are trying. We need you, sir, to use your good office.
Been entrusted in your care.
He has bullied them. He has collected the money from them forcefully, and some of them have posted the videos online. There are no videos online about this. It's not like they are just saying something. It's there, and these people, some of them are they are still alive. It's only Mohbad that is late now. But at least when Mohbad did this video, he was alive, so it's also an evidence, right? So, sir, these children, what they tell me, these young ones, they're like, if they come out now, some the little evidence that are out there. Some now has not been brought in or questioned. So
that's the commissioner of police,
how safe
the
can
CP.
when they now come and give their own evidence? What is the assurance when Mohbad is dead with all these videos that have been trending on social media about Sam Larry, even some videos that we saw where Sam Larry came when Zlatan and Mohbad were having a recording this year, and we don't know if he's already being questioned or is with the right authorities. Because if he's being questioned, then this young ones can have the courage to want to say, okay, this man that is bullying us, because as far as they're concerned, and I am concerned, it's my observation. If he's been bullying these young ones, and he's still out there or somewhere, because we saw a video of some of his boys that came and said that his boys, nothing is going to happen, they will do this and that. He was sending out threats. And we need to understand that these young ones that are complaining, they are still teenagers. They cannot be bold and strong like their mothers or fathers that are here today fighting on their behalf. So we need you, sir, to use your big officer to let them know, the public, because there's a lot of them on it. There are a lot of them out there that really want justice. And we need to make the environment safe for our young ones. We call them the leaders of democracy. And if they're not safe, that all of them, that's why most of them, apart from the hardship going on in the country, the Jackpot syndrome is also part of the fact that they don't feel safe in their own countries. We can help them get this man who they claim is a good and do a proper investigation so that these young ones can have the courage to come on board and lay their claims. And some of them have evidence because most times they record. Young boys have a way of recording of this incident and they can put it on board so that he can be brought to justice if truly he is found guilty. So that he can serve as an example for other ones out there who want to be bullying these children, harassing them, and spreading this fear into these young children. Because music in our society today has really put Nigeria on that map. And we would not like some few sets of people to come and destroy that for us. That's one thing. Another thing is that for me, I got an information about a young boy who was also under Naramadi's label. And I found out that he had not came to try out to a certain club called Gisela. And I got that information through my DM that I should please help visit this boy, which I did. I made a video. What we posted on social media, the video was already half, the interview was already half done. And I had my reasons for not starting live with the interview because I wanted to put some information private. The videos are with me, I'm going to be giving it to you, sir, so that you can listen to it. I would appreciate it. Took a lot of effort for us to get this boy to even.
All right, so they're just they are telling him everything that's going on.
And work to achieve greatness.
This is how we look at it,
on the matters arising. Thank you very much for your time. We appreciate it.
No, I can't boy you.
Allah, because we do not like the way he was buried. We would like to give him the sons in our area because he stands as a symbol of strength and voice for his other ones. So we really want him to be buried in a very
proper way and
proper, respectful way, sir.
And also protection for the wife and the son is very, very key and germane. That is the only thing those are the only things that we will remember of Mohbad. It is very, very key, even beyond the physical what we are saying. Sometimes, I'm sorry, we can have security on them because they are the target right now. We do not understand the danger that these people.
All right, these videos are all online, but let me show you something so we can round up today. I don't want us to spend too long here. I decided to search and just I decided to let me show my full screen. Let me show my full screen so you can see these are some of the issues with us. I don't really see this happening in America when it comes to bloggers. I don't see it. Okay, maybe it exists. I don't know. There's liars everywhere, but just look at this title here. Okay, you can see this person just posted this. I'm not sure. Does she want to cry? I'm not sure. This is so trolls are taking. They're using this as advantage. What is she doing? All right. So you see, these are some of the issues. This is a lot of people are sick in Nigeria. Okay. Let me play this one for you. No, I'm not gonna play it because that's what they're looking for. This one has 22,000 views. 2 hours ago. Look at the title. Mohbad is not dead. What has happened? Nurse caught wife exposed DNA test. She cheat on Mohbad. You see the disrespect? That's what people are doing. Okay. So people are doing anything just to get some clicks, you know. Now I can already tell that this is not really him. I don't think that's not really him. Okay, there's no way that's really him. Okay, I'm not gonna play anything more than that. All right, but you can see. Okay, this is some of the madness that's going on out there. This is why some people are saying some people just want to chase clouds. Anyway, today this is a view of what happened today. I'm gonna share this with you and then we'll round off. Okay. This is today. There's a lot of people out there. They still did the protest today. So I'm glad to see this. I'm glad to see this. This is good stuff. All right. Absolutely disrespectful. So, but that's some people out there for you, you know. So when you are moving out there, just understand that some people are mad like that level. Just know that, you know. So, but me, I would never do anything like that here. I'm covering the story because Mohbad was an average young man trying to just do the right thing. He was working with what he had. Okay. That young man that was speaking different funny accent here just now, he was working with what he had. His skill as a DJ. He wants to sing. He wanted to freestyle for Antia, but was trying to do the right thing. That's what all of us should be doing. No one has it perfect. No one has it perfect in life. Right? But whatever you have, you work with it. Right? So imagine if you're trying to work with what you have and that's still not enough. And we're talking about on a general scale in a society. So people need to be held accountable. So again, the police have a chance to demonstrate that they can do the right thing or they can't. We have to keep our foot on their neck. That's all we can do. Okay. So now they're saying 2 weeks. Okay. So in 2 weeks from today, maybe before that, we'll see if there's anything that comes out of it. Okay. But shout out to you all. Shout out to you, Nani. Good night to you. I appreciate you. Good night to everyone. Hopefully you've been enlightened and educated. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.